intimate details of this United Airlines and the passenger who was pulled off the plane with rug burns. Good morning, Brad Melke.
Hey, good morning.
So we found out that the passenger, actually got quite a few bumps and bruises while he was being dragged off the plane.
Yeah, according to his lawyers, that's for sure. As they continue to sort of lay the groundwork for a potential lawsuit, now they're listing his injuries. They say it wasn't just a bloodied lip or anything. They say he lost 2 front teeth. He got a concussion. He got his nose broken. He's going to need reconstructive surgery, they said. And, of course, all that matters when you're talking about damages that they'd be looking for, both from United Airlines and potentially the Chicago officers that forcibly removed him.
So yesterday he held a news conference, and it's safe to say that he's going to play this out in the media.
Well, certainly. And we actually didn't hear from David Dow, that doctor himself. Instead, we just heard from his lawyers and his daughter, Crystal Dow Pepper. She said that, when her father escaped Vietnam back in the 70s, he wasn't even as horrified then as he was probably being dragged off of that flight. That's how scary and terrifying she said it was to see those images surface. And so this is clearly the groundwork now for a lawsuit, right? Or at least the pressure to begin settlement talks. That's why his lawyers asked United to retain any documents, that internal emails or incident reports, anything like that. And it, of course, is why they're listing all the potential reasons that he would need money now.
I listened to quite a bit of that news conference, and it was a great performance put on by his lawyer. But a couple of questions from reporters brought up something very interesting. The guys and the security who dragged him off the plane are not United Airlines employees. So how is United Airlines at fault for this?
Yeah, so the lawyer said, you can have both United responsible for potentially calling them in, having these policies that end up escalating so much, and you can also at the same time hold the city responsible for having its employees physically dragging a guy off a plane and knocking his teeth out in the process. So the lawyers, you can be sure, are going to try to lump United in all of this. The lines that the lawyer used was, are we going to continue being treated like cattle? So he was really kind of rallying a nation of flyers around him, saying, we've been bullied long enough by these airlines. But of course, the actual damage to the doctor was caused apparently by the scuffle with these city officers. So there's plenty of blame to go around, and the lawyers are hoping plenty of money to go around as well.
I also thought he slipped up a little bit when he said the captain is in charge of everything. It's his plane. You do what he says when he says it. And I thought to myself, well, then the guy should have gotten off the plane if the captain said to get off the plane.
Yeah, that's right, and that's, I guess, one of the reasons that they're asking United not just to hold on to incident reports, but also to surveillance video. They want to see what happened after David Dow was out of earshot of all the other passengers, and as well as they're asking to hold on to all those cockpit voice recordings. Apparently, thinking that the flight crew and the officers and everyone sort of been more tightly reining themselves in. But like you said, when the flight crew and the team and even city police essentially tell you to get off the flight, and you don't, that raises its own set of questions. But the city, by the way, they've put these officers on leave, and you had several people from the city yesterday saying, no, the officers are at fault. So you can already see a lawsuit certainly coming towards them.
Has United said anything other than their secondary apology?
They really haven't, and the lawyer yesterday actually made a lot of hay over the chief executive, Oscar Munoz, over his interview with ABC News. He said you could see when he was asked, did Dr. David Dow do anything wrong, he took this long pause before finally saying, no one should be treated that way. And the lawyer said, sort of made it sound like it might have been a disingenuous apology. They say they still haven't heard from the CEO, even though the CEO says he's left messages. It's a little bit of a mess right now, but obviously, and it's only going to get messier from here.
Brad Melke, thanks for checking in. Have a good day.
Hey, thank you.
Brad Melke, ABC News correspondent.
And the other thing that is interesting is that the CEO came out with saying that this doctor was disruptive and, unruly.
Right.
And so I don't know where he was getting that from. Who was telling him that?
Yeah.
So
this has deteriorated into a whole other thing now.
Yes.
All right. So Brad Melke, ABC.